All right, let's see if this is working. I'm trying to go live. Apparently, somehow, without any, um, without any doing of my own, it was broadcasting yesterday's webinar for some reason this morning. I think it had to do with Leap Day because the 29th webinar was still there. So let me know if you can hear me on March 1st. Say, yes, it's March 1st. I can hear you, or put 3-1 and put yes, 3-1 to make sure that you can hear me. I'm not sure what was going on. So a bunch of people were messaging me that they said that yesterday's was going, but there's no automation set up. So I think it had something to do with Leap Day because, okay, yes, March 1st, awesome. Because it still showed yesterday's, excuse me, webinar in the back office of Webinars on Air. So it was still showing it as an active webinar when that had already transpired. So I'm not sure what that was all about, but it looks like now everyone is here, and I'll go in and look. Maybe Google did another update in something that Webinars on Air will need to update, and I'll go in and check after today's webinar and make sure that today's webinar actually processed through and that everything is hunky-dory. Let me go and look because I should have it set to recurring. Yeah, so you should have been able to register once and be registered for the entire thing, but it doesn't look like that happened for everyone. Oh, maybe it did. I don't think so. So let me check, and we'll check that out today, and we'll see. I'll send a message over to the Webinars on Air people, and we'll check it out. So this is a great topic for this morning's Tech Tip Tuesday. And I was just going to talk about Tech Tip Tuesday. I was really just going to talk about tenacity in technology, and finding the solutions is really not difficult if we're willing to go through our fears and through our challenges. So that yeah, so Robert, I know you're still texting me right now in real time, but I know it says today's was canceled because it was running yesterday's. That's why you got an email that said it was canceled. So you're here for today's, I hope. Type in the chat, Robert, if you're here this morning, because I see you, but I want to make sure that you're actually hearing and seeing me. So type over into the chat, yeah, you can hear me and see me. And let's make sure. Let's make sure. So I can see Craig and Daniel and Judy and Chris. Okay, you're here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Perfecto. I just want to make sure that the people in the chat box over on the side. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Craig. Dano, what's up, sir? I just want to make sure that that wasn't, because there was like a playover where it showed some of the text from yesterday. And so that's really weird. Yeah, something's definitely going on with the Google, the application. And the reason I know is because it shows me in here as Mr. B, and I had typed that in for last night to register for a totally different webinar. So tenacity in your technology, and the reason that the tenacity factor is so important is because there's a lot of different scenarios in which you may not be caught up with the technology. Literally, some of us didn't grow up with some of this technology. Maybe you didn't grow up using some of this stuff on a regular basis. And so you just simply don't have the knowledge base to tap into, right? So you don't have the resources available on hand, immediate resources within yourself to be able to tap into to solve some of the challenges that you have or to get through some of the obstacles. So that tenacity in this tech challenging scenario is really easy to overcome if you're willing to go out and just simply ask for help. And here's the reality. If you don't have the tech skills right now at this point, the reality is that you're going to have to acquire just a few simple skills so that you could function. And then within that, you have the ability then when you have, I'm sorry, I lost my track because I was watching how people were getting over. If you can develop some basic, a few skill sets, then you can go and actually have some people that are more proficient in some of the other areas assist you and help you in getting some of those tasks done, right? That's just the reality. And so this idea of having technical challenges just needs to stop. You need to be able to build your business without constantly having technical challenges. And so how do you push through that and get to the place where you're no longer being slowed down on a regular basis because of the technology? Well, you can, in most cases, in a lot of your marketing online, you can, once you have something set up, you can either get some private coaching, get someone to help you do it and get things set up. Because when things are done like that, a lot of times they don't ever have to be set up again. Or B, if they do have to be changed, it's a very simple fix once the initial setup is done, right? Then the changing of things is just like swapping out a link. It's like copy and paste once the original setup is done. So going out and literally just asking for help and finding someone that already has exactly what you want to put in place and going to them and finding out how they put that in place gets you right to the solution, gets you right to the answer in this technology, right? And what you have to find out, right? What you'll have to seek out is the individual that, in addition to doing and having exactly what you have set up, also offers the training or some back-end support so that you could get yourself set up how they are set up. That's a reality. And this past 2 weeks has really been a challenge for me in technology, not only in the fact that I was trying to learn some new things that I didn't have knowledge about, then I was trying to apply them. And then in addition to that, I'm waiting for outside services that are going to interconnect with mine to be able to do that. I literally, after the free daily coaching call yesterday, and I've been telling you guys about this saga about getting just an increase of service, I got another phone call yesterday from my internet service provider confirming, even though I did a third-party verification, they called me another time on phone to make sure, again, that yes, I did order this. And we're literally talking about $5. That's like the deal here. I'm increasing my service. It's gonna change my bill by $5 a month. And it's been the hardest thing ever. So in one sense, there's one side of me that wants to tell you like, hey, and I've said this many times, if it takes more than 15 minutes, move on, right? Like go find the solution. If you can't do it in 15 minutes, go find a solution, right? Unless it's a big, huge project. In this case, it's a big, huge project. So I do little chunks of work on the project as time goes by so that the technology doesn't slow me down. It's already, because of it's just out of my hands, right? Until the technician comes, until certain things occur. There's some things that are just beyond the scope of my control. I'm not able to make any effect there. So what can I do? What can you do in your business today? If there's a technology challenge and you're waiting for a solution to be implemented, what can you do today that would be beneficial, that would move you forward, right? What can you do today that's gonna allow you in your business to move forward, right? And so, and it's really kind of especially when we're working with technology, it's having a mindset change with the technology to say, okay, there's gonna be some challenges and obstacles, but instead of focusing on the challenges, the challenges and obstacles, when that challenge or obstacle occurs and I can't immediately resolve the issue, it's something that time is gonna be a factor. Like, let's say you just bought a domain and you're trying to forward it, right? It has to propagate. So that could take up to 24 to 48 hours. There's nothing you can do to make that go faster. It's a reality of business. It's a time deal. You have to wait. However, there's things that can be done while that's occurring, right? There's always other things that can be done. So it's simply a shifting to, okay, what can I do? What can I do today that will get me to this goal, right? I have a specific goal. I'm doing X, Y, and Z that are on my list of required actions. I did A or I did X. I did Y, but I cannot move forward. It's impossible to move forward because I have to wait for something on Y. Well, can I do Z? Is there somewhere back in the ABCs? Is there just some other things in the list that can be accomplished on this specific project? If the answer is no, then we're simply going to move to another project. We're simply going to do another task. So we don't have to let technology bog us down. We really can use simple technological tips and tricks that other people are figuring out all the time to be able to help us move faster and do some cooler things. I want to show you guys. I read an article yesterday. It was like the top 10 things that you could add to Google extensions. And I'll tell you, Chris Schaus is a little master at this. She's found so many cool little extensions for Google Chrome and little quick shortcuts, and shared them with us along the way. That this really it made me think of Chris yesterday. It was a whole post. It was just on 10 cool shortcuts, right? Add-on extensions that you could use in Google Chrome. And I'll show you guys because I use this one. One was a way to remove, oh, you're gonna see, let me open a new window. Okay, so you're gonna see all kinds of pop-up ads most of the time on different places, different websites, and I've blocked all of those pop-up ads, and I did it, and I have this little extension up here called Ad Block Plus. And when this is running, it just simply won't allow pop-up ads. So I just won't even see ads. So let me show you how cool this is. So if I'm in Facebook right now, you can see it turned off, okay? So right now it's turned off in Facebook, and you can see, I can see these side ads right here. Watch this. Enable on the site, and now I can refresh, and I won't get, so you can see over here it blocked one, so these are here, but it's not going to give me any pop-ups here on Facebook. Okay, so it gets funky with Facebook. So these are just suggested groups. Look, these aren't ads, these are suggested groups, right? And you can see it tried to block an ad right here. If I go over to, you know, my homepage, and I come over here and I start scrolling down, you'll see that it tried to give some ads, but then they didn't come up, right? There's no ads over here. These are just suggested groups. So it's blocking the ads on Facebook. So anyway, I can disable the ads, come back, and you'll see that will get some ads coming back up in here in a second. Once Facebook wants to give me some. So, and you can use this all over the internet, this Ad Block Plus. So that's one. So let me go back to Google so I can get out of the Facebook here. So that's just one of the fun little extensions that they showed. That was a fun tech tip. And then this one is called Honey. And this is just a an extension that you can add. So you can just type in honey extension, okay? And then it'll pop up here, honey, Chrome, Chrome Web Store. And when you get this honey, and there's all kinds of fun extensions. When you get that honey app, it automatically just goes out when you're buying stuff online and scours the internet for coupon codes. And if there's a coupon code for that specific product, it types it in and saves you money. It just does it automatically for you. Right? And so there's that. There's this Ad Block Plus. There's Grammarly, which is an extension that when you go to write something, not only does, you know, like how you have spell check, well, this will do your grammar check so that you don't, you know, have punctuation where it's not supposed to be, or you may have a run-on sentence that you'd like to actually have correct punctuation. So these little tiny add-ons, these little tiny, like this, Chris Schaus found this thing called DialMonk. Now that thing was specifically for Android applications, but if you have an Android phone, you could add that DialMonk in, and literally it would add it onto your phone and onto your browser, where like everyone's phone number that you were dealing with in applications would just turn to a link, and it was connected to your phone, so you could just click on it and it would just dial that contact, right? Would you just be able to click on the number, hyperlink it, and it would just dial to your phone. So things like that just saves you time and energy. And the more time and energy that you could save not spending trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how it works, the more fun and the more energy you'll have, right? You'll have more fun and you'll have more energy to spend on doing the important things rather than trying to figure out things and grind, right? Because here's the reality. Someone else already figured it out. It's just a matter of you finding that information, and sometimes going to try to find that information. That's the grind. That's the challenge, is going and finding, okay, where's the resource, right? Where's the resource to go and locate this? And I would suggest that using the free daily coaching group as a resource and going in there would be a great resource. Now, for some of us, for the people that are members of the Friends of FTC, the Friends of Free Daily Coaching, our private coaching group that we do, we have a thread that goes on for those members, and they all are part of an ongoing conversation, and they use that thread as an area that on Facebook, that conversation as an area to swap ideas back and forth. I see it all the time. I'll even participate and throw stuff in there. So having these tech challenges doesn't need to occur. You can simply use a rule like, hey, if it takes me longer than 15 minutes to go and find the solution and I can't find it on my own, that's when I ask for help, right? That's when I go and I contact Bert. I contact someone in the free daily coaching group. I contact another mentor, someone that's an expert in this specific area, right? Like maybe okay, let me give you an example. Maybe you were about to do an interview and you wanted to come up with like 3 baseline questions, and you were racking your brain, 25 minutes later, you looked up all kinds of stuff online, you couldn't figure it out. You could just simply, after that amount of time, go and message Chris and say, hey, Chris, you do an interview every week. Do you have like a standard, do you have like a format? Do you have specific questions? Right? You could just go right to the source, right to someone who's doing it, and get the answer. Does that make sense? Hopefully this is making sense. Same here. I didn't grow up with this stuff for sure. Yeah, most of us didn't. So awesome. So that is our Tech Tip Tuesday. So Tech Tip Tuesday is all about not getting stuck, not getting bogged down by technology and not allowing it to slow you down, right? Looking at what can I do to move forward? How can I take a step forward and continue to move in a positive direction, even though there's challenges? And how can I get the answer to the challenge as soon as possible so that I can implement the effective change? That's really the goal. The goal isn't to find the best fit right away, okay? The goal isn't to find the Lamborghini of solutions. The goal is to find the duct tape to fix the problem, to get through the challenge right away. Then you can go back and actually talk to someone. Then you can go find the whole solution. Then you can go and really refine the process and find the best solution, right? And fix the issue and repair it and build it the way that you'd like. But initially what we want to do is fast action. How can I repair this? How can I make movement and get going now, right? How can I make some momentum today? That's the key, and that's what we're looking to do. So don't let the technology slow you down. Guys and gals, as you know, we've been redoing we've been doing some different projects, and as we've been redoing the Friends of FTC site, and as we're doing some new things with free daily coaching, we're going to take this up a notch, and we're going to start bringing you some different types of trainings, right? We're going to bring you some more trainings, some quick shots, quick blasts on a regular basis, and we're going to combine these together into little series so that you can really effectively use these to go out and get some momentum going in your business in just a couple of hours, in just a couple of days, in just a couple of weeks, in just a couple of months, right? Do you see how you can scale that? What could you do in a couple hours? What could you do in a couple days? What could you do in a couple weeks? What would happen if you did this for a couple months? And then what does that look like over a few years? And that's scaling. And so what we do here at Free Daily Coaching is basic. Let's get into how do we do some daily activity to get momentum in our business. Then you can step it up and look, okay, well, what do we do at the in the Friends of FDC? Well, that's looking at it on a bigger scale. That's on a weekly level. What are we doing? Okay, we're doing some bigger projects there. We're focusing on some bigger things. Then what if we step it up and say, hey, what if we do some bigger things on a monthly basis as well? So that's what this looks like as we grow and step up. And this all came, and all of these changes and all of this growth and all of this development all came from an obstacle. The obstacle of having the internet and the camera challenge for Goat Village has transformed into being able to really make some effective change across the board in our business. Because of a challenge that we had here, we had to shift some focus and do some other things. And in doing that, we recognize some other areas that could be improved. And I suggest that you could do that exact same thing. So do not allow the technology challenges and obstacles to slow you down. Simply set that aside until the time expires or until that challenge can be realistically readdressed, and pick something to go and do to get some more things accomplished. And the more that you do this, the more that you get used to doing this, the more things you'll get accomplished, and you'll see that you'll start doing more and more and getting more results because you're getting more accomplished, and things become easier as your momentum develops and grows. It's harder if you're sitting on the couch. It's harder if you haven't talked to anyone in months. It's more difficult. It's more challenging. Why? Because you don't have any momentum. So simply start taking the action, start pushing through these obstacles and challenges so that you have the opportunity to build some momentum. So that's it for Tech Tip Tuesday. A little bit of tech tip, a little bit of mindset. Thank you for joining us over at freedailycoaching.com. Again, it's freedailycoaching.com. There was some tech issues this morning, so I'll look and see. You may have to re-register tomorrow for the webinar. If so, I'll try and create a new link so that, now that the updates happen, leap days past, hopefully it will then extend through so that you don't have to register every day this month for the month of March. So thank you for joining us here at www.freedailycoaching.com. We'll see you the next time.